So close to 3 points that probably overall your team deserved.
Yes, is the short answer. Their manager agrees with that. After the final whistle, he says the same thing, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's all about the result that goes in the book, if you like. It's in the papers tomorrow morning. Don't get me wrong. I thought we were good value for all 3 points, but that wasn't to be. They've scored 2 world, isn't it? That's what it's took to draw with us today. So take nothing away from the boys. You know, the best away record on the league's had to score 2 worldies to get something out of the game, which is disappointing from our point of view. You know, I think if you look at ourselves, we should have scored more than 2, and that's what we've got to do better.
How good were you? You know, until they scored the first worldie.
I thought we controlled the game in 2 different aspects. You know, I don't know what time the first goal went in, but we controlled the game in possession first half, creating chances. Second half it was about containment, and we did that, and then the lad scores a rocket from 30 yards. And does it change the game? I don't think it did change the game that much, because I don't think they built any pressure, and they've scored off a knockdown from a long ball in the 98th minute or whatever it was. And that's sometimes how the cookie crumbles in football, and it's disappointing, but we've got to take great heart from how we played. You know, we've lost games of football. I think the last defeat here, Gillingham, in November, we were terrific that night. It should have been 5-0. We lose the game 1-0. But you take heart from the fact that you've dominated a game of football. You know, if you play like that every week, you're going to win games of football. As it turns out, like I said, that was the last defeat here because we played well here, and that's, you know, that was the case today. So yeah, disappointing on one hand with the result. You know, pleased with the performance on the other hand.
Was it a case of when you were 2-0 up and you were dominating and you were thoroughly deserved it, there were still opportunities to score a third, and probably 1 or 2 decisions went against you that could have got a third?
Yeah, I felt we should have had a penalty first half. Charlie's then nicked it over the goalkeeper. He's got clipped and he stays on his feet because he's young and naive, and you know, their bench agrees with that as well. If you go on the floor, the referee's got to give a penalty. You know, that's just, I'm not condoning diving by any stretch, but you know, the professionals do it. That's the old experienced pros do it. And I don't want Charlie Kirk or any of my players to throw themselves on the floor. But that's another chance that we should have scored from. There was 2 or 3 more in the first half. There was 1 in the second half. You know, we've got great chances to, you know, to wrap the game up at 2-0, but we didn't take them. And you know, to be fair, like I said, they've had to score 2 worldies to get a point at little old Crewe. You know, you look at the size of the clubs and the resources, and you know, we've got 9 fellas or 8 fellas and a bunch of supporters, and they've got a billionaire that's sailed over in his yacht from Monaco. You don't need, you know, that. I know I'm talking tongue in cheek, but that's where we're at. That's the truth. You know, we've got brilliant Gresty Road. They've got the magnificent stadium. All right, they've got a budget that's beyond our wildest dreams, and we've got what we've got. When you add it all up, you go, well, Sunderland should be getting something here. They didn't deserve to, but that's where we're at. And you go, well, fair play. You know, they get a point, we get a point. We play like that every week. We'll win more games than we lose, and we'll win more games than we take a point from.
9 minutes of added time, no problem with that. Did you think that was about right?
He said to me about halfway through the second half there'll be 6 minutes because there was 5 for Ledbetter's injury. You know, fair enough, and then there's another 3 from our sub and another stoppage. It is what it is. I don't, you know, it is what it is.
As you say, you just get on with it, just keep producing the performances, and hopefully, you know, those 3 points will come, not the 1 points.
Yeah. You know, I think we've performed well. I think there's only a handful of games this year where we haven't performed very well. And we've got to make sure that we keep that level of performance up, because when we do, then we're a match for anyone.